Illustrator is an application that I use quite often to create artwork for animation inside of Flash. They are very compatible, and what you do here is going to show up there, and it's going to be great. So let me go ahead and just give you an example. I have Illustrator CS5 and I also have Flash CS5 ready to rock. So let's go ahead to Illustrator and let's create something like perhaps an eyeball. So with an ellipse, I'll go ahead and draw shapes here for the eye, give them some colors, draw another ellipse on top of this for the reflection, and one more down here. Okay, so I have my eye. Then I'm going to group them. So with my selection tool, I'll simply draw out a boundary like so, and I'm going to press Command or Control G to group them. I can also save this in my symbol library so that I can put a registration point on here for animation. In other words, a place for it to rotate. So I'm going to go to my symbols. And as you can see here, I did one earlier. I'm going to drag a new eyeball in here, and I'll call it eyeball 2. I'm going to keep it as a movie clip. And for those of you who use Flash, you know you have the ability to save your artwork as a movie clip or a graphic. Typically the difference means a movie clip has sometimes self-contained animation or other things already built into it. Or you can just save it as a regular old graphic. It's up to you. For now, I'll just save it as a graphic. And I'm going to put my registration point right in the center. But if you want your artwork to rotate, let's say from here, you can click right here and add that little black box wherever you want that registration point to be. So when we want to rotate things, it will hinge from here, or from the bottom, or wherever you put it. I'll keep it in the center for now. I'll go ahead and say OK. And now I'm going to go to File, Export. On my desktop, as you can see, I already have one done, but I'm going to call this eyeball 2. And as the format, I'll choose Flash Swift. Okay, this is the Flash format for things that you want to import into Flash. Don't forget, when you're working in Flash, the actual document is called an FLA, and when you export things and the files you play online are called your Swift files. So I'm going to choose Swift. It changes up here for me, and I will simply export. The Swift dialog box opens up, and I can choose a preset if I want to. I can export the Adobe Illustrator file to a Swift file. I can export my layers to Swift frames, and I can export in other options as well. So I can go to Swift files or Swift symbols. So I have a lot of choice when I want to export my files. I can also change my curve quality. The higher the quality, the bigger the file is going to be. But don't forget, Flash is a vector-based application, but still you want to try to find a medium ground so that the file will play on the most systems possible. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say OK to this, and then I'm going to head over to Flash. From Flash, I'm going to go to File, Import, and I can choose to import my artwork directly to the stage or into the library inside of Flash. So I'm going to choose to import the artwork directly to the stage. I'm going to go to eyeball 2, and as you can see, it's a Swift file. We see that the file is extremely small, only 4 kilobytes, and I will simply open it. Hey, what are you looking at? Here's an eyeball. And I can go ahead and click on the artwork, and I can move it around. And I can scale it or whatever I want to do. And as you can see, the registration point is in the center because that's where I placed it inside of Illustrator. And now we're ready for animation. So that is how you can bring your characters, your furniture, your walls, your props, or everything that you create inside of Illustrator and bring it into Flash.